Are you looking to invest in Vancouver real estate, but you don't know what neighborhoods are the best in terms of your investments? Well, I'm going to go through 5 top neighborhoods that I think are the biggest bang for your buck when you purchase a condo or home in Vancouver. One thing to remember is whether you're buying a home to live in or a rental property, you should always view it as an investment. When done right, you could really have your money working for you. And so high returns is really just one factor that you should take into consideration. Things like preference on area or budgetary constraints are amongst other things that you should take in consideration when you're thinking about buying. My name is Kahn, and I make videos like this every week to inform you on Vancouver real estate market and what it's like to live in Vancouver. If you'd like to get in touch with me because you have any questions about the Vancouver real estate market, or you are thinking about buying or selling, or there's one property that you're really interested in, you have questions about, there's a link down below where you could book a 30-minute consultation with me. We could jump on the phone, meet in person, go for a coffee. And if you want more videos like these, please subscribe, hit the bell button so that you get these videos as soon as they're released weekly. When you're buying a property, there's 3 things that you really want to consider. The demand that there is to live in that area. So whether if it's for renters or buyers, you want to make sure it's a livable area and continues to be so, or has the opportunity to grow to become more livable. Number 2 is capital appreciation. So this is probably one of the most important things you want to consider, because the appreciation is what you're going to benefit over the years and help you reach your long-term real estate goals. Because many people don't buy their dream home. There's a lot of compromising that need to be made in the first 2-3 purchases until you're really satisfied with where you're going to end up. So you ideally want to stay away from areas that are very volatile. And 3 is the overall market conditions. How does that area outperform or not perform as well as the other areas in the greater Vancouver area? Without further ado, here we go. The top 5 neighborhoods that you should invest in when you buy Vancouver real estate in no particular order. Number 1 on the list is Downtown Vancouver. I say this all the time because if you look at a map, Downtown Vancouver is surrounded by water. It's not like Toronto where you can just build further and further and further out. Downtown Vancouver has a limited area of space that they could build, making it over time a more and more valuable place to invest in. It's basic supply and demand. What we've been seeing recently is when developers buying plots of land, they're developing really high-end luxury buildings with a sale price point of $2,000 per square foot. So to give you that kind of a reference is to just buy a studio 400 square feet, you're paying close to $1 million just for that size. It's pretty crazy. But what happens there is that drives up the rest of the prices in that area. And as a homeowner, that is something that you want to happen. Downtown Vancouver is separated into 5 different sub areas. You have Yaletown, Cole Harbour, West End, Downtown Vancouver East, and Downtown Vancouver West. Downtown Vancouver East is a little bit less desirable place to live in, and so it's a little bit more of a volatile market when the market shifts from a seller's market to a balanced market or a buyer's market. So this might be a neighborhood you may want to avoid if your budget allows you to. Also, due to its location, proximity to water, other amenities like nightlife scene, restaurants, and public transportation, Downtown Vancouver has a very high demand to live in, whether if you're a renter or a future owner. Number 2 on the list, Kitsilano, also known as Kits. Fun fact, Kits is actually the #1 search neighborhood in all of Vancouver. Kitsilano is known for its laid-back nature. A lot of people think yoga pants, green tea, matcha lattes, going to the beach, chilling, hanging out. It's quite a bougie neighborhood. You have different types of properties there at different price points. You have lots of condos, townhouses, and even lots of high-end houses. Even billionaire Chip Wilson, founder of Lululemon, has his very own house there. So yeah, it's a very desirable place to live in. You kind of get the benefit of living in a very residential type feel kind of area with lots of amenities, restaurants, and shops close to the beach and close to downtown without getting the noise and the traffic from living downtown. Kitsilano is already a pretty expensive neighborhood to live in with high rental rates and high purchase prices, but there is going to be a SkyTrain expansion all the way from Clark Street to Arbutus, which will certainly have a positive impact on prices, making it a more expensive area to live in. So this project's going to complete around 2026, and there are future talks about expanding the SkyTrain station all the way from Arbutus to the UBC, which is just going to create a higher demand for this already desirable neighborhood to live in. Number 3 on the list is Mount Pleasant. Mount Pleasant is known for its cool artsy vibe. You could go here and and go to a cool art show. There's lots of theaters with different types of shows going on. You may want to go to this area to go thrifting. There's lots of cool shops along Main Street and different cafes and restaurants. You know that SkyTrain expansion that I was telling you about that's going to expand through Kits? Well, that's also going to expand through Mount Pleasant. Mount Pleasant has gone through a lot of development over the recent years, but there's definitely a lot of room for development in this area. The area has definitely been gentrified at this point, but now that a SkyTrain station is running directly through it, the city of Vancouver is going to make this a target for development because them and developers make a priority to building close to the SkyTrain station so that's easy for residents to commute throughout the city, whether it's to socialize or for work. Although prices have been increasing in Mount Pleasant, it is still relatively cheaper to purchase or rent in this area, and there's lots of different types of homes in Mount Pleasant, from very old to very new, which leaves lots of opportunities to snag yourself a really good deal. Overall, Mount Pleasant is a really good area for you to invest in because the potential for growth there, the more development that we're going to see is going to drive the prices up, and with the SkyTrain station coming along, we're going to start seeing lots and lots of more development in that area. Number 4 on the list is Commercial Drive. Is known for its community feel. It's very diverse. They put on different events to draw the crowds out, such as Car Free Day and Italian Festival. Often, if you're walking through Commercial Drive, you'll see different community gardens in park areas where people can go and plant their own fruits and vegetables. And that's what really stands out about Commercial Drive, is that whole bohemian feel to it. What makes this area a really good area for investors is, well, you probably guessed it, there's lots of potential for growth and there's a high demand to already live there. Just before the end of last year, there was a massive development proposed to redevelop the Safeway, which is right next to the SkyTrain station on Commercial Drive. With this redevelopment, it's going to have 3 different towers, creating 894 units, providing enough homes for up to 1,600 people. The breakdown of these homes is 205 affordable rental homes, 395 market homes, and 294 condominiums for resale. This type of development could be really exciting for the area, but for some, they don't really want it to happen. They're really worried if they start to see a lot of these high-rise towers start to be developed, that it's going to make the area a lot more unaffordable for them to live in. Number 5 on the list, and that is Hastings Sunrise. Hastings Sunrise is one of the most underrated neighborhoods in Vancouver. One thing people don't really realize about Hastings Sunrise is that it's such a walkable area. There's tons of breweries and restaurants in this area that makes it so walkable and already a great place to live in. But the future for growth and development is what makes this area such a great place to invest in. It's a very close commute to downtown Vancouver, so it's gonna be on the top of the list for developers to start redeveloping. One thing that stands out about this area over the other 4 areas is its affordability. Because it's not as gentrified as Kitsilano, Mount Pleasant, or Commercial Drive, it's still quite an affordable place to snag a really good deal. So if you're limited on how much you could spend on this property, Hastings Sunrise is an area you should definitely take into consideration when you're looking. So there you have it. Those are the top 5 neighborhoods that you should consider when you're investing in Vancouver real estate. Some honorable mentions that didn't make the list are Fairview, River District, and you know what? Let's not forget about the other areas around Vancouver like North Van, Burnaby, and New West, which are going to be at top of the list as well. It really just comes down to preference, so where you want to live and what's accessible to you if you're going to be running a rental property with tenants. In general, the greater Vancouver area is a wonderful place for investors to put their money in because they get to benefit off of the large amounts of appreciation that their property values go up. This is due to the high demand that the city has for people to want to move here and live here. You're close to the water, you're close to the mountains. It has a world-renowned food scene with record levels, immigration targets from the federal government, and just people within Canada generally wanting to live in Vancouver. There's always going to be a huge demand to live here, and with limited supply, we're gonna see an increase in prices, which fundamentally is the problem with Vancouver's housing crisis at the moment. Let me know what you think. Do you agree with this list? Do you disagree with this list? Are there any points that I may have missed? Let me know in the comments. If you liked this video, hit the like button. Please subscribe so I know that you're enjoying this content and you want to see more videos like this, and hit the bell notification so you get notifications every time I post a new video. And if you're looking to buy in the future, let me know. Let's connect. I'd love to have a discussion with you. I think this is a pretty generalized video and there's a lot of questions I'd love to ask you to see what your personal goals in real estate estate are and customize a plan for you to help you reach your real estate goals in the long run. Thank you for watching my video, and I'll see you guys at the next one.